welcome back to my channel Tictastic. I'm Wilamena and I'm back again with my sister Marley.
Hello!
For day 6 of Ticmas. Right, so for today's video we're doing more of a fun video and we're doing what people with Tourette syndrome can sort of relate to.
So we've got a bowl with a list of, we've written a list of stuff that triggers or happens or is really annoying for Wilamena, and we're going to read them out and explain a little bit why, and hopefully other people with Tourette's can relate to them, and we're going to have a bit of fun with it as well.
Yeah, so we've got them sort of all like folded up
so we can't see what they are.
Yeah,
ready to
right, let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to go first. People were mistaking facial tics for silly faces. This used to happen a lot in like primary school, because that's the age where like, oh, so-and-so pulled a face at me. It's like quite a common occurrence. So when you're ticking and you're making funny faces, little kids don't get that. So that was quite a common thing. Also on the same one is eye rolling tics, which is also along the same lines. Because eye rolling tics are quite common, so I kind of do it all the time. And for someone that doesn't really know what's going on, it literally looks like I'm just rolling my eyes at them constantly.
Yeah, and to be fair, I've mistaken some of your facial tics for being really rude, and you've been like, so it's just a tick, it's just a tick.
You've been like, oh, okay.
It's quite easy to do.
Yeah, it is quite easy to do.
Next one.
That is definitely something that happens quite a lot. You'll go.
People expecting you to start swearing.
So when I sort of meet someone for the first time, but they know I have TS, but they don't understand what Tourette syndrome actually is, other than, you know, swearing. So I meet up with them and, you know, I'm not swearing, and they go, oh, I thought you had Tourette, you know, you haven't spawned, and I'm like, that's because I don't swear.
Yeah, and when I explain to people that Wilamena's got Tourette's, the first question, or more often than not, the first question that I get asked is, does she have swearing tics?
And it's like, no, it's like, no. 90% of people don't.
It's just a stereotype.
One of those things. I'm very lucky that I don't,
yeah,
but
obviously.
Right, next one. Games. Okay, so musical statues is an obvious one. One of the worst games you can play if you have Tourette's. I mean,
being told to stand still for you is just a nightmare, because she just won't, she just can't. Something in her brain just goes no.
Yeah, as soon as someone goes, right now everybody like be really quiet, or everyone stand still, it's like that's not gonna happen. So musical statues is definitely one. Wink murder. So you might not know what this game is, but basically the murderer is like winking at people and then they die. But the thing is I have lots of like blinking tics. So either I'm the murderer and I kill like everyone without actually doing it, or I'm not the murderer and someone else is, and I still kill everyone because they think it's me. So that is a fun game to play with me. Another one is Jenga, like the tower of like things. You have to be really careful to pull them out. Never gonna happen. As soon as I try to do that, the whole thing's on the floor.
Yeah,
never a good idea. The other one is pick up sticks. Right, so this is the box of pick up sticks. It's pretty old actually. You can probably get some more modern versions.
We're gonna have a quick game because it's Wilamena's favourite. Yes. I'm gonna win, by the way. I can't even spread them out. Basically, the idea of the game is that you have to get as many sticks as possible without moving any other ones. So let's give it a go.
You can go first.
Okay, it's my favourite.
Gosh, I'm holding in a really big tit. Couldn't quite hold it in long enough.
I go!
Yes, I got it.
That was insane.
They're all a bit far away. I know, I'm like leaning over. Can you hold the table?
Yeah, I'm holding.
Oh!
Game over! I think I won. Thanks for playing pick up sticks with me, babe. They're all on the floor now. Another one that Wilamena has had a really bad tics for is a game called Headbands, where everyone has a headband and you have a card saying what you are. So you have to ask yes and no questions to find out what you are. And Wilamena at one point had really bad vocal tics. So she was shouting out clues to all of the cards.
So someone would have like Brussels sprout and they'd be asking like, am I a boy, or am I a girl, or am I an animal? And I'd go, you're a mini cabbage, or like something like that. And I hadn't even thought of these clues, but my Tourette's was just firing them off, and in the end I was like, I'm not getting any clues.
Yeah.
Next one?
Next one. Places you have to be quiet. And places you have to be like still as well.
Yeah.
So examples would be a library,
Yeah.
a church, a concert, 2 minutes silence on Remembrance Day.
Those aren't very nice. You're trying to be really respectful, but you can't do anything about it when you have to be completely silent for 2 minutes and you're trying your best not to shout out some random word. And I had to do it twice this year, like on the same day. It was bad. I managed to do it though. I managed to do it.
Hold it all together.
Somehow I managed to do it. But those are definitely interesting.
It's stuff that we don't like. I wouldn't even think about that. It's just so easy for me to sit in silence for 2 minutes. Or it wouldn't even cross my mind that walking into a library would be such a big trigger for you.
Yeah.
Until you explain that it's because you have to behave in a certain way that your brain goes, no way, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. My go. Someone says something as a joke and then I start ticking it. This has happened a couple of times. So someone says something, it doesn't have to be a joke, they can just say something random and then I start ticking it, like saying it as a tick. But especially when it's something quite funny or it's like a joke, and then of course, then I start shouting it out everywhere I go.
Does that happen at school quite a lot?
Yeah, sometimes. Or sometimes when people realise that in a way they can get me to like tick whatever they want. Because when they go, oh, start ticking this, I'm like, oh, I can't start ticking that, I can't start ticking that. So then my tics go, oh, let's start ticking that.
Yeah.
So especially when people are like, oh, imagine if you started ticking blah, 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 then that's like quite annoying.
It becomes a tick eventually because you're trying so hard
not to tick.
Okay. Going to a Tourette's camp or event and they're mostly being boys.
Yeah, so because Tourette's is mostly found in boys, it's a lot less common in girls. When you go to like events or like a camp, then I have been the only girl in the past.
A bit outnumbered.
Which is fine, but obviously sometimes it's nice to talk to someone that's sort of going through the same thing as you. But I don't mind, but sometimes I'm like, only girl again. What a surprise.
It's quite a common occurrence, which is quite interesting, really. You wouldn't have thought that it would be.
Yeah, it's really random.
I don't think you'd necessarily gender.
No, put the two together. It's a really random, strange thing.
Yeah.
So we've noticed that whenever someone around me is like on the phone to someone, and obviously I'm not on the phone call, that kind of becomes a trigger for my tics. So if you are on like the phone to your friends and I was in the same room, it would like trigger my vocal tics. And so I'd start like saying all these random things, even if I haven't had like a single vocal tic that day. Okay, so this is what we mean by when someone's on the phone, I start ticking. This might not work, but it might. I don't know who she's gonna call, but yeah.
Good afternoon, how are you?
Banana pancakes.
Oh, me and Wilamena went shopping today, much to Dad's annoyance.
Binoculars.
We went to Trago, yeah, we went
Bonkers binoculars.
Yeah, it is actually. They've got very regimented arrows.
Bonkers binoculars. Jelly tots, love you lots like jelly tots.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bit like that for us.
I'm a gingerbread man.
We also destroyed their window display by accident, not really realising that it wasn't for taking, but it was.
The abominable snowman. I'm toasty like a toaster.
Next one. The mic go.
Sorry.
Face masks triggering facial tics.
So, I'm not sure whether this is just me or anybody else finds
this would be interesting to find out actually.
Yeah, so do let me know if this is a thing for you as well. But whenever I wear my face mask, so I'm in the middle of a shop or something, because I get quite a lot of facial tics anyway, when you wear a mask, it's quite like constricting. Like when you do like facial tics, it kind of like comes off and it's really annoying. And so, of course, that triggers my facial tics. So I have like 10 times the amount of facial tics. So I spend my whole time like trying adjusting my mask.
Yeah.
Every time. Whenever I wear a mask, it like triggers my like face tics. And it's stupid because then the mask falls off.
spent the whole time like trying to hold on to my mouth.
You'll go doing something weird and having to clarify that it wasn't a tic.
I love this. This is like my favourite thing ever. So Wilamena will say something or do something that's really funny, and often it's a tic. So it's just like her subconscious that does it, and we just ignore it. But sometimes she'll intentionally say something or do something that's a bit weird,
or
like
funny.
like we all do, like everybody does. And afterwards, when she's got no reaction, she'll have to pipe up and say, "That wasn't a tic, by the way."
Yeah.
Nice try. It's my go.
Okay.
No, it's my go.
No, it's not. Yeah, what's your go? Do you want to read it? I'm sorry.
Spending time with other people with Tourette's. Now, what happens to your tics when you meet someone else who's got bad tics as well?
Well, an example is when I was at Tic Fest, which is like a Tourette's camp kind of thing. We're all like in a circle for the thought of the day, and someone has a tic and they like bark. Someone across the circle then starts ticking dog. Someone pipes in with a meow, and I start coming in with cat, and kind of goes on like this, and you sort of bounce off each other's tics. So it's, even if you haven't been ticky for the past like week and you've had quite a calm week, when you go, you're going to be ticky. Because I don't know what it is or why it is, but I know this one isn't just me. And whenever you're with other people, you just tick more.
Yeah, tics trigger tics.
Tics trigger tics, and then you start doing someone else's tic. And that's funny, you're like, oh, I've never had this tic before. Oh, that was yours originally, wasn't it? It's gone around the circle.
And maybe that's why they call it Tic Fest, because it's a fest of tics.
Honestly, it's quite something to watch. Exams. So I'm pretty sure, I mean, most people find exams stressful. I mean, who enjoys an exam? No one. But particularly when you have Tourette's, exams are interesting.
So I'm ready. You go. I was going to say you go, say it.
The fact that you have to be silent,
Yep.
sit still,
Yep.
you're in a room full of other people.
Yep.
It's all big triggers for you. Massive anxiety.
Yep. Whilst trying to not fail a test.
It's just a nightmare.
Yeah, I'm very lucky that I'm allowed. So I do all my tests in like a separate room on my own, so I don't have the stress of disrupting other people. And I have extra time so that when I'm ticking, I can still carry on with that. Because every time you tick, obviously that's like time lost. So, and you have to sort of reconcentrate on what you were thinking, because after you've ticked, you're like, what was I writing?
Yeah.
So that happens quite a lot. And I also get breaks. So in the middle, if I need to like have a 5-minute break so I can tick and get all my ticks out, then I can also do that. So I'm very lucky, but I know that not everyone is allowed to get that.
Random triggers. So quite a lot of random things trigger Wilamena's Tourette. Stuff that you wouldn't even put it as as a potential trigger.
No.
Some of these include soup.
I don't know what it is about soup. If you put a bowl of soup in front of me, I'm gonna chuck it on the floor.
It's bizarre. She can't have a soup in a bowl. You can just about manage in a mug, but that is still very risky game giving you a bowl of soup. I think also because it's hot, it's like a definite no-no to get it anywhere, because you just hurt yourself. And another one is walking.
Yeah, because I get quite a lot of like walking tics. So we'll be like, oh, let's go on a walk. And I'm like, oh yeah, I really want to go on a walk. And then afterwards I'm like, I shouldn't have gone on that walk.
Or we'll get like 5-10 minutes in and her legs will start ticking. So in some ridiculous position, and we just have to give up because it just is painful for you.
Yeah.
Being told to do something.
Yeah, or not to do something.
Or not to do something. So it's the same as being told to be quiet, because you have to be.
Yeah. Story about that. I was in like a cathedral service once, because we have to do that at school. And I was in Borders Cathedral service, and it was quite a relaxed one. It was just all the boarding houses, and the dean said, right, now for the next 10 minutes we're going to take this time, so I know you're all really tired, to just be completely silent and completely still. And my house parent literally looked at me and was like, I think you should probably go. And I was like, yes please. Because as soon as someone tells you, we're going to be silent, we're going to be still, or whatever, or don't touch that, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Don't spill it.
Off it goes.
Off it goes. Don't throw it.
Off it goes.
It's just a thing. It's just your brain just goes. It like tricks your brain, and you're like, I think it's because probably you weren't even thinking about it before.
And then someone says, don't do it, and I'm like concentrating on not doing it. So
It's
then my
like when
tics are
someone
like,
tells you not to smile, and you smile because something in your brain goes, don't smile. Oh, I'm smiling because
Yeah.
you're thinking about not smiling. If that
Yeah, I
sort of
think I
makes
get what
sense.
you mean. Yeah.
One more left.
Last one. Again, I don't actually know if this is just me or not, but having to use a child's cup with a lid to drink water out of. So basically, in fact, at the minute I'm alright with a normal glass, but up until very recently, I've been having to use sort of child's cups with like a lid and a straw because it's just gonna go everywhere. Pick up my glass. Oh, it's in my dinner.
Just goes in her dinner.
As soon as I like had it, it was either gonna go on the floor, on me, or on the food. So that was never a good thing. I don't know whether that is just me. Let me know if you also have to use a child's cup with a straw, so I don't feel so alone.
So we've read through all of our little bowl. Let me try that again. So we've gone through the whole bowl of relatable Tourette things. Yeah, we hope that you found them interesting, relatable,
Or just funny.
or just funny.
Right, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and come back tomorrow to see day 7 of Ticmas, and